Hello and welcome to Allegedly Astrology. Each week we break down the astrology that happened during some of the biggest scandals and events in history.
Thank you so much to everyone for listening to our show. If you want to support us, you can leave us a 5-star review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
And if you do leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and DM us a screenshot of your review, we'll make you a custom meme of your big three and send you a quick write-up about it.
We also have a very cool and exclusive Patreon, so if you want more awesome astrology content, join us at patreon.com/allegedlyastrology.
Yes, and make sure to follow us, Allegedly Astrology on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and Allegedly Astro on Twitter/X. And you can visit our website, allegedlyastrology.com, to learn more about us and the show.
And if you want to book a reading with me, you can email astrologyreadingsbydana@gmail.com. That email is linked in the show notes. Hit me up. I'm back in the game.
She's back in the game, everyone.
I'm on the ice.
So, Dana, what are we talking about today?
Heated rivalry.
Heated rivalry. I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, you should have at least heard of heated rivalry being talked about in your orbit. But it is a Canadian sports romance TV series created, written, and directed by Jacob Tierney for a random Canadian network called Crave that became an absolute global sensation that launched actors Hudson Williams and Connor Storrie into stardom, like true stardom. And since its debut, it's received a 99% critics review on Rotten Tomatoes. It was named one of the best queer TV series of all time and was ranked among the list of best TV shows of 2025 by Cosmo, The New York Post, and Refinery 29. So it's basically cinema. Okay. So, Dana, have you watched Heated Rivalry?
Up top, the straight answer is no, I haven't. I was going to watch it last weekend, but I had to take the weekend off of male ice skating because I really took Ilya's long performance to heart. So I just took it. I didn't watch the Olympics. I didn't watch men ice skating at all.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, there's just not a ton of ice skating because I don't think either one of them knew how to ice skate before this. Either one of the actors knew how to skate before.
So I just missed out on a love story that I can watch now.
Basically, They have some hockey in it, but it's more of a love story.
All right. Well, I'll watch them. Now I have something to look forward to when the Olympics end.
Yeah.
To keep me going.
I watched it. Sarah watched it. We've discussed this at length. And Sarah can't be here because she has a work conflict, womp womp. But Dana and I are just so excited about the Olympics, about anything that's happening on frozen ice. So
Truly.
We can't let this moment pass us by.
I've been having an adrenaline rush since 1 p.m.
So Heated Rivalry is based off a 2019 gay sports romance novel by Canadian author Rachel Reid. There's not much info on Rachel. Her real name is Rachel Gogan. Her pen name is Reid because it's easier to pronounce. I probably didn't even pronounce it right. She's married. She has 2 children. And her work started to become well known after romance novelist Kat Sebastian, who Reid and I had recommended it on social media in 2020.
Cool.
So let's take a look at Rachel's chart.
So Rachel was born September 2nd, 1980 in Halifax, Nova Scotia in Canada, and she has a Virgo sun and a Gemini moon. Both of these signs are ruled by Mercury. Mercury is all about writing. This is great for a writer.
Love that.
Also, maybe a bit of a perfectionist, someone, also Virgo's a sign of the Virgin, which also then makes it associated with sex. Fight me about it. So Neptune also plays a big role in Heated Rivalry. We'll keep coming back to Neptune. Neptune is fantasy, and when people risk it all for love, a lot of times a Neptune transit is at play. Her Neptune is in Sagittarius, so that also spices up her mercurial placements in Gemini and Virgo, which are the lovers of the facts. Here's a little detail. Let's go to trivia. Neptune in Sagittarius, a fire sign, brings the heat, pun intended. And then her natal Venus is in Cancer, which is Lana. Venus in Cancer. It's like the Meatloaf song, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
I would do anything for love, but I won't do
that was my first CD ever. My mom picked me up from preschool and gave me that CD. Yeah, because I loved it. I think I loved the song, but I also thought the music video was like Beauty and the Beast because he's so hairy.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, cute, right? And then she has Mars in Scorpio, which is definitely giving secret romance. It's giving, feeling sexually attracted to your enemy. Also, like, being able to play a long game. And then her Venus, Mars are
Mm.
in an easy, friendly trine in water signs. So, yeah, so she has this Neptune square in opposition. Neptune opposite her moon can make her really be able to access her emotions, creatively or use them for, creation. She was born on a last quarter moon, which makes her have this inner conflict, which makes things, hot, of course. So, yeah, so she has a cool chart for a writer for sure.
I love that she's turning conflict into
Her
hotness.
Venus also squares Pluto in Libra.
Mm.
Pluto and Libra is like different kinds of relationships. A lot of it was kind of associated with the generation that made divorce like 50-50. 50% of
Mhm.
marriages end in divorce. I don't even know if that statistic is like, I've never
I
verified
I
it.
don't think that it's true anymore, but it was at some point.
Sure. So yeah, and also Venus square Pluto is like, oh, like such high stakes love.
High stakes love. All right. So the story that Rachel wrote that was turned into Heated Rivalry was the second novel in her Game Changers series of gay themed ice hockey romance novels. And then Rachel said that the idea for Game Changers came from a place of her being annoyed with how homophobic hockey culture is. But she also got a lot of inspiration from the HBO reality show 24/7, which followed the 2011 NHL Winter Classic rivalry between Sidney Crosby of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby is Canadian, and Alexander Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals, and Ovechkin is Russian.
I
So she
remember
turned that rivalry into the basis for her novel, which follows the secret romantic relationship between rival hockey stars Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov. And fans of the book call it steamy and a prose masterpiece. So, what was going on when Heated Rivalry was released?
it was released on March 25th, 2019, and the sun was in Aries, the moon was in Sagittarius. They're both
Aries.
fire signs. It's also, hey, same signs as you.
Same
But
sense
yeah,
as
literally
moi.
heated. Mercury
And
was
I love
retro.
a heated rivalry, let
You
me tell
do.
ya.
You sure do. But yes, Mercury retrograde was in Pisces conjunct Neptune. Again, we're bringing Neptune back. So this is like feelings that can't be expressed in words because they're too profound. There's a Jenny Holzer truism, the most profound things are inexpressible. That's what I always associate with Mercury in Pisces. Mercury retrograde ramps that up. It's like deep and loving, self-sacrificial. Also, so if you're launching something on a Mercury retrograde, it's ill-advised. Why? Because like you don't know when it will get popular, right? It's not a smash hit from the jump, but it gets a second chance and a second life to make it something else, something big. And then Venus is in Aquarius, squaring Mars and Taurus, which Venus rules Mars and Taurus. So, I mean, Mars and Taurus, like Alyssa Liu has Mars and Taurus, and it's like, to me, I mean, Mars is a blade, Taurus is art. So, artistry on ice. I guess it's also romance on ice, you could say. Just Venus in squaring Mars is like a lot of sexual tension. Venus in Aquarius is cool and cold. It's, Aquarius is a sign of the winter. It's bookended by winter on either side. But yeah, and Venus in Aquarius can feel like a freak. Mars and Taurus crave stability, is like very horny. It's like an artistic combination for sure. And it's a fixed sign. So it's super stubborn, impossible to quit. It draws you in. And, then you're mine. The sun is conjunct Chiron and Aries, so the sun is masculinity, Chiron is the wound. Of course, having like a major gay story is like a I'm again, did I watch it? No. Do I know that there's some sort of masculinity conflict? Yes. Secrets, either having to hide it from parents or, co-worker teammates. The South Node is conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. So this is also about like power dynamics and structures and subverting them, calling attention to them. Also, Pluto is like sex scandal. So I don't know if there's a sex scandal at all in this show. I can't wait to find out. And then the North Node, importantly, is conjunct Rachel's Venus. So Venus is art, the nodes are destiny. When she released this book, the North Node was on her Venus. This is also something that was a very good, not omen, but good astrology for releasing something despite, having a Mercury retrograde. You can't always operate just because Mercury is retrograde. Sometimes you have to launch your book.
Interesting. A successful Mercury retrograde launch. Who would have thunk it? So, Jacob Tierney, who's the one that wrote and adapted and directed the series, he loved the books and he knew they had quite a big fandom. So, he wanted to keep it close to the OG material and he wanted to adapt them into a series that would show gay romance with a happy ending. So he sent the script to executives at Canada's biggest media company, and allegedly the script had a disclaimer that said, "This will read almost like pornography, but please know it's not going to be shot that way."
Hot. That's so cool. That's so
Which
funny.
actually would totally make me wanna read it. You know what
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean?
really
Like,
good
it's a good
yeah.
disclaimer.
Sending a script that says well, I mean, like, "Don't read this," I almost
Don't
like
read this, wink, wink,
yeah.
But he was in luck because the company was looking for their version of Netflix's Bridgerton, and they trusted Jacob because he had already worked with them on other things before. They were like, "Definitely, we can do this. You just have a pretty low budget, so make it work." And the first season premiered online on Crave, and then it was picked up for streaming on HBO Max, and the show dropped on HBO Max with literally no promotion. Like, no, nothing. It just plopped on the platform and, they were like, "Okay, here you go." But then people started to like it's sort of a word of mouth phenomenon,
Totally.
and it dropped around the holidays. So I feel like that was also really good because people were craving content to watch. So what was going on when it was released on HBO Max?
So this was November 28th, 2025. The sun was in Sagittarius, the moon's in Pisces. It's in first quarter moon. It's really lovely for opening a book. Okay. Jupiter is conjunct Rachel's Venus and the North Node. So that is what I saw first. It's this straight line. Do you see it, Elise? This straight line of Jupiter, the North Node, and Venus, all in Cancer. It's awesome. They're all 24, 23 degrees. It's magnetic. Jupiter is what is like Jupiter and the North Node both expand. This is just expanding, your
Major expansion.
right? I love it so much. I was thrilled to see that. And then the moon and North Node are in Pisces conjunct the Mercury Neptune conjunction from the book release. And so the moon is like, you can think of it as like the hands on a clock. It's like the moment. And the nodes are destiny. With the moon and the node in the same sign, it's usually not advised, like in electional astrology, to choose a chart where the moon is in the same sign as the North Node because, like, it's unpredictable. The outcome can be unpredictable because
Mm.
the nodes are eclipse points. And so that's
I mean, this
where
was an
fate,
unpredictable outcome.
right?
It was a huge smashing success.
Huge.
So sometimes unpredictable can be good.
Right. You're right. Exactly. And like also since it's related or since it's with the North Node, I guess I wouldn't say you should have never put I don't think that you should never put the moon and the North Node together necessarily. But like historically or traditionally that's, not advised. But the North Node is related to what's trending and the show was immediately trending. Like I had so many friends that told me about it in early December, maybe. And then Uranus is conjunct the books Mars and Taurus. So Mars is action and power. Uranus is surprise. It's the dark horse. It's also like overnight success, which of course overnight success is rarely real. But like she wrote a book 6 years ago, and the book
Right.
started in her mind in 2011. So it's not overnight success. I would never want to discount someone's hard work because my Saturn's in Capricorn, and I respect that too much.
Right.
But it's just once something does become an overnight success of the thing you've been working on for over a decade, it's just really also like supercharging the story and giving it a grand stage. Uranus, Mars again is power. Uranus is like electricity. It's electric.
It's electric. Boogie,
And
woogie, woogie.
boogie, boogie, boogie. And then the Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries is conjunct the book's Sun Chiron conjunction. So on February 20th, the Saturn Neptune conjunction is exact, but it started in spring 2024. So again, that Sun Chiron conjunction speaks to a bit of a crisis of masculinity, but also like a softening of it, or not softening
Mhm.
of it. Like, we're highlighting the things that could be hard to be a man. Maybe maybe the wounds of how. I mean, okay, it's hockey. Rachel Reid thought like this is so homophobic, but it's sort of bringing a light to like the trials and tribulations of that.
Mhm.
And so it's like a different way to see masculinity, but it's no less masculine. It's
Yes.
just like a different it's like our art. We're also like telling new stories. We're telling or it's not a new story, right? Love is a timeless story, but it's being told in a new way.
Yeah. I loved it. Okay. So, besides the show being very sex filled, Heated Rivalry received a lot of acclaim with praise for the directing, writing, and the lead actors' performances and chemistry. And it also became Crave's most watched original series to date and HBO Max's top debut for an acquired non animated title since the platform's launch in 2019, which is crazy. And people think it's so successful. So successful because it taps into a universal experience, yearning. It's a
People are
slow
obsessed with
burn
yearning
show.
now.
It's a slow people love to yearn. Gen Z especially,
Yeah,
the yearners.
they yearn.
They can't earn, so they yearn.
They're
Oh my
like,
god. So what was going on in this chart that would show it's such a huge hit?
I mean, I would say as a disclaimer, this is so much about how charts build, right? From Rachel's chart, having her Venus at a degree in Cancer, and then having the North Node be there when she releases her book, and then having Jupiter be there when the show is released. That is significant. But in terms of just
Mm.
the isolated chart for November 28th, 2025, there is a sparkling water trine with the moon in Pisces with Saturn, also Neptune and the North Node are there. So with so much Pisces, and Pisces is a sign of yearning. Saturn is yearning. It's,
Mm.
it's love in the shadows, or, like the
Challenge. They face a
longing.
big challenge in the
Yeah.
show.
Yes. And with Neptune too, it's so like, well, I don't know, will they, won't they? And then we have Jupiter in Cancer, which is mercy and love, like, the eternal goodwill. And then Venus is in Scorpio, which is like we're fucking in a locker or
Oh my
something.
god.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? It's like we don't think of hockey as being very like watery, emotional, but like it's frozen water.
And the way they get into these impassioned fights.
Frozen water. And it's the biggest fight sport there is.
Yeah. It's- And even just hearing Team USA talk about how they hate Canada, like it's personal,
It's personal. Yes.
which is what water signs are. And so Venus in Scorpio is also opposite Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is surprises. It's also like deviation from the norm, which can arguably like make it gay. Like Jessica Lanyadoo, queer astrologer, had a thing about how Uranus is gay, and I liked it. It's from like 2018. And then Venus is in Scorpio. Again, love in the shadows. This is like the opposition makes it romantic. It's harrowing. It's this you're you and I'm me, but we can't stop.
My God.
Just like when you get bushwhacked by love, and like it's secret, but it's so real. And then the Sun and Mars are in Sagittarius, which never hurts for a horny sports show. It never hurts for a big smash hit either.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little late to the party. I didn't watch it till like mid end of January. But I thought that again, it was just kind of like, oh, it's this kind of horny show, whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I'm bored. Let me put this on. And then I was just surprised at how much more, I don't know, I don't want to say nuanced because it's definitely not nuanced, but it's like, I was just surprised that there was a lot more depth to the story. And I also think that it was acted really surprisingly well. And that leads us to our next discussion points. We have to discuss the amazing actors in it, Hudson Williams and Connor Storrie. I mean, Connor Storrie is freaking amazing. He plays like a Russian, and he learned Russian for the role. He's like a guy from Texas, and he apparently like spoke in a Russian accent the whole time, so he would never like switch character. And like at the end, some
That
of the
reminds me of
crew
what
didn't
Kristen
even.
Stewart said about men needing to act in doing method acting.
I know, I don't know, but
I
he like some of
heard
the
his
crew at
performance
the
is
end
excellent.
didn't know. So yeah, I'm curious how his Russian speaking and acting was. Like any fluent Russian or native Russian speakers, comment and let us know how he did. But we'll start with Hudson Williams. He plays Shane Hollander, the sort of more repressed Canadian goody two shoes boy. He had some small roles on television series, but this was definitely a breakout role for him. He received praise for the subtlety of his acting and his ability to convey Hollander's inner thoughts, which apparently was like a big part of the book, but like was not, obviously was not really able to be expressed in the show in the same way. So Dana, what's his chart like?
Okay, so he was born February 13th, 2001 in Kamloops, Canada. And he recently said on a podcast with a guy named Evan, I think it's Evan
Ross
Katz,
Katz.
Evan Ross Katz. Like he recently said at like around 11 and then 11 a.m. And then on Astro Theme, he gave this information because Gracie Abrams asked
Oh,
him. And then,
I love that.
yeah, so Astro Theme has listed it as 11:10 a.m. and they gave it an A rating. So he has an Aquarius sun, a Scorpio moon, and a Gemini rising, which is such a fun big three. Well, Aquarius sun and Gemini rising, these are air signs, so they're like easy to be around. They're social, and then the Scorpio moon makes him so mysterious and like
He was
interesting,
looking
but
like
also
he was
deep.
having so much fun at New York Fashion Week.
Oh, I
He was
love
just,
him.
like, taking
He's so hot.
selfies and being cute, but also, like, looking good. It
Yeah,
was
looking
great.
cool. So, yeah, this is someone who can make you feel like you've known each other forever, but in a way that you realize you don't know anything about him at all, but, like, a lot later. There's a lot of depth and intellect in this big 3. His sun, Mercury retrograde, and Uranus are all conjunct in Aquarius, so he will shine in unique roles. Aquarius can be unique. Uranus brings uniqueness. Mercury retrograde brings a different style. He's good at showcasing the inner world of a character without necessarily articulating it. That's what I think Aquarius can do that really well, and then I love Mercury in Aquarius. And he's just like a trailblazer. He's for sure a good guy to have in a trivia team. I've talked about trivia too much this episode. Twice is too much. And then, okay, he has Pluto conjunct his descendant, which makes him perfect for a repressed romance. A very Romeo and Juliet. Partners could feel obsessed or threatened by him or both. There could be jealousy in relationships. Generally, it can be really good for business deals. It's not all downsides, of course. Listen to our episode about the Olympics if you want to hear how some scary transits are not all downsides. You like that?
I love that.
And then he has Jupiter and Gemini in his first house, which just makes him so fun and likable. He wants to do good. Jupiter is a planet of goodwill. So even if he says something insane, like he's not going to be canceled, it's all in good faith. And he's just at his best when his relationship with himself is solid because this is ruled by Mercury retrograde. So his inner monologue has to be good. Like he has to be good at talking to himself to be good at dealing with others. So I bet he's so intuitive. And then he has Mars and Scorpio opposite Saturn and Taurus. So both him and Rachel have Mars and Scorpio. Very cool. And the show was released when Venus was in Scorpio on his Mars and Uranus was in Taurus. So kind of highlighting that this is like his overnight fame too, right? Like, of course, he's been working for years, but this is his like boost to
Right.
overnight fame.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like nice and horny. It's persistent. I would say usually consistent, and he's going to be so rich. I anticipate. And then his midheaven is conjunct Neptune, which is like A Star Is Born. Neptune is on Marilyn Monroe's ascendant. Neptune is a planet really related to fame. Also, the man is fluid. Neptune is all about fluid. So I like that. I like that for him.
It fluid like sexuality.
Fluid, like a lot of, like, of course, and then also any other way.
Yeah. Because it's interesting because a lot of people want to know, like they ask the actors point blank, what is your sexuality? And neither one of them will say.
Well, that's cool.
So I kind of like that.
It's so Gen Z.
I know.
I love you, freaks.
All right. So now we're going to talk about Connor Storrie, my personal favorite. I think he did so good. I just thought he was such a good actor in this. He plays Ilya Rosanov, and
You're not going to say Grigorievich?
No, I don't know how to. I don't know Grigorievich.
Beautiful.
Ilya Grigorievich Rosanov. He began his acting career in 2018, appearing in various short films and minor roles. And he was in Joker, Folie à Deux, and he played the young Arkham Asylum inmate implied to be the real Joker.
Oh, that makes me want to see the movie. What does that even mean?
So what is his chart like?
Okay, he was born on February 22nd, 2000 in Odessa, Texas. Unfortunately, we don't have his birth time. But
Grace Abrams, why haven't you asked him?
Yeah, I guess he wasn't on that show. He's a Pisces sun and a Libra moon. So he's a gentle, scary baby. This is big artist energy. He's a shapeshifter. He knows how to give others what they want, which make him such a talented performer, I'm sure. I mean, like, not to discount the artistry of these signs, the archetypes of these signs as isolated, but with it together, it's so like, I could be who you want me to be, which means he can also be who he wants to be.
Interesting.
And then he has a Venus Neptune South Node conjunction in Aquarius. Incredible. Struggles could be, I mean, he could have struggles in love. This isn't for me to speculate. Also, like a vague sexuality if he's not even answering, like, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah,
but sometimes people with struggles in love, like that also makes them stronger.
For sure, for sure. And like, I mean, once you struggle to get somewhere, there's a value to it. I would like, if there's also like this type of thing makes him a great artist. There's a comfort in terms of him being able to express some emotion in a way that he can also, I guess, maybe stay like disconnected from it. There's just divine inspiration with this combination. Venus, Neptune, and the South Node together. It's so like I can like hear it. It's like a drop of water, it's beautiful. It's just someone like he's destined to perform, I think. Also in Aquarius, like Aquarius is the opposite of Leo. Like there's a desire to perform here, to be noticed, to be validated. And he has his natal Mercury. His natal Mercury is also retrograde in Pisces with his sun. So he can understand himself by playing various roles. Pisces might get into acting to explore the psychology of a lot of different roles so that they can literally put themselves in that place without having
Mm,
to, be that person.
interesting what you said about method acting earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of what he did for this. I mean, not as intense as like Daniel Day-Lewis or whatever, but like, he definitely like made himself be Elia
Yeah.
throughout the duration of the shoot.
And it's interesting how the name Elia is now in our zeitgeist.
Yes. What is the name Elia? All of a sudden.
If I get a cat, I'm
It's
naming it
not
Elia.
spelled the same, but still. But yeah, so their chemistry and micro expressions are just what makes the show so great. Like they it's the slow burn, the yearning, but like the two of them are just it's amazing. You're just like rooting for them the whole time. So
Adorable.
let's take a look at their synastry.
Okay, so because Hudson was born on February 13th and Connor was born on February 22nd, their suns are close together, but they're not in the same sign. So
They're not
this
on the
is
same side.
an out of sign conjunction of their suns, which is like kind of to me the evolution from Aquarius to Pisces. Like it's so much about a surrender. It's an opening, sort of like melting the ice, really. You're going to the end of the year, astrological year, bringing yourself into spring and an opening of, the heart, you could say. You could say. And then Connor's Mars in Aries is to the degree exactly conjunct Hudson's Venus in Aries. So this is like chemistry off the charts, very horny, especially in Aries. It's like, I'm going to come get you. And like it's ruled by Mars. So they're playing sports and the sports are about standing on blades, which is great. It's also just like this.
Standing on blade.
We're standing on blades. What is ice skating?
Standing on business and standing on blade.
I love it. Very Venus Mars conjunction in Aries. Just really great at building palpable sexual tension. Both also have Mercury retrograde natally. So there's like this intense inner monologue from the jump, from their birth. Makes them good at knowing, I think, how they sound. And because they're in their own head, they can get in other roles. Maybe even acting for them is like an opportunity to escape their own brains. It's cool. I mean, Hudson's Pluto is conjunct his natal descendant. Because Pluto moves so slowly, Connor's Pluto is also conjunct Hudson's descendant, but that's like to the degree. So I guess, I mean, it just revs it up even more. And then Connor also has that Neptune, Venus, South Node conjunction co-present with Uranus in the same sign as Hudson's midheaven, which like they get famous together. They work well
Mhm.
together. Like their career or like Hudson's career is now intrinsically tied to Connor's.
Right. They've called each other like best friends
Oh,
before.
that's precious.
So I feel like they
Oh,
definitely have a lot of synastry
yeah, well, Connor's
on
North
and
Node.
off screen.
I love that. Connor's North Node is conjunct Hudson's IC, which makes it a very, like, an intense bond, like, one that's almost like maybe one they haven't explored together, but now they're doing it or before, separately, but together they
Right.
could do different things. It's in Leo
Yeah, I
too, so they're
mean,
performing, and they're
yeah,
yeah,
they got catapulted into stardom together,
I love that.
which is really nice. Like they'll always
They have a
be
shared
have
experience that
that.
no one else has.
Exactly.
Cool.
Love that. So we're very pleased to report that the show has been renewed for a second season, and it will adapt Rachel's sixth book in the series called The Long Game. And filming is expected to start this summer with a release date projected around early to mid 2027. So we
Wow,
can't wait.
I'm excited.
I'm really excited. I can't wait to see like what the show can do with a little bit more budget.
Sure.
Like it I loved it and I think they did an amazing job with what they had, but it definitely was like, yeah, this was not made for HBO.
You can
Like when
just
you're
yeah,
watching it, you could just tell.
for sure, I know exactly what you're talking about. I watch
You
so
know what I
many
mean?
yeah, so many varying
So
shows.
I'm excited to see what they could do with just a little more budget and
Especially because
a little
HBO's
more
shows are so
pizzazz.
so good. Like, I
I
just love how
know.
the production quality is so,
The production quality
high.
is amazing. So I'm just very excited to see what they can do with that. So stay tuned. I know Sarah was also a really big fan of the show. And Dana, you'll have to watch it
I
so
will.
you can also become a fan too.
I'm already a
Maybe you
fan.
can watch it in your Olympics come down.
Yeah, it's going to be gonna be my come
It'll
down.
be your transition.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm Elise.
I'm Dana.
And this is Allegedly Astrology. Bye.
Thank you.